9 months ago in November, I went through a really hard time. I had actually been at the peak of some of my highest earnings from trading. Things in my relationship were going really well. I had a good friend circle. I actually got my shit together in school. This is well after the time when I lost my money. I had a lot of time to recover from that. I was really hitting that shit hard, coming back to school, actually giving my life a fair shot. I was clean off of everything. And honestly, I thought I figured it out for the most part. The problem is I was incredibly dissatisfied with everything I was doing. It wasn't me. I was just living up to everyone else's expectations, and I was in this environment, but I was doing it successfully, right? I was living according to the world, and the world gave me the results I was looking for. That should have been enough to satisfy me, and it wasn't. It never felt enough. I felt like I was just living someone else's life. It wasn't even my own. At the time, I never even thought I'd even drop out of school. I genuinely thought I was going to have a perfect balance between fucking trading and school and life and all this shit, and I would just manage it all somehow. To be honest, I didn't want that, though. In the back of my head, I always wanted this bigger thing. I wanted to do some shit I wanted to do some excellent shit, some like extraordinary shit that no one else did, that I could just be like, that's my life. I did that, and that's cool, and I fuck with that. But I was just like every other fucking cog in the fucking system, bro. Just living about, doing whatever, and doing assignments, just like a good little fucking student, right? And things didn't change. Honestly, I lived like this for 3 or 4 months, and I felt surreal. Like, it felt surreal because I was just casually going about life, doing everything, and it wasn't enough. I was going to the gym. I felt empty. I was looking around at all my peers that were happy and doing the exact same things as me, and they were content. They were satisfied. I'm looking around like, this is it? You're telling me that this whole, I lost everything, worked really hard to get my shit together, to work hard to be at this school, to be doing all these things that everybody says is me and that I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm looking around. They're having fun, but I hate this shit. I'm like, this is monotonous and boring and slow and dull, and I hate it. This is what I was working for? You're fucking me? What? And obviously that was when the doubt started coming to my mind. But I'm like, well, I could never drop out. I could never do that, right? I'm not ready for that. I'm not prepared for that. But then in my prayers, I'm like, well, it'd be pretty nice. It would be pretty cool if I could do that. You know what I mean? I wish I could spend more time doing this. I wish this was my life. I wish this. I wish that. I watched all these people that I grew up on, that some of you guys are growing up on me as a trader. I watched all these people that were no better than me. I was probably better than them. Doing exactly what I wanted to do. But why couldn't I do it? Why was I confined to this little world doing little fucking shit, little activities, being a little bitch boy? Why was I confined to this lower life? But then everybody who was just like me got this other thing, got to live this life that I always wanted. Why was I the one that had to watch that? Why couldn't I do that? And for whatever reason, it felt like this barrier, this unobtainable barrier, where I would look at these people saying, I can never have that because I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in this world. I'm stuck in this reality. I tried to fit into that narrative for as long as I could to be successful in school. And that's honestly why I was naturally not good at school. It's because I would always do shit outside of the fucking box. I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, what makes them different than me, right? What makes them able to do this thing? And it always came down to they took a risk. They took a jump. They made this leap. And I was like, well, I can't do that because I'm in school. Which is like, well, why am I in school? It's because everybody expects you to be in school. It's like, okay, well, I'm fucked. I'm stuck, right? What am I supposed to do? How? They're not better than me. They're not different than me. They just took a risk. And somehow in my brain, I've let the world convince me that I'm not allowed to take a risk. And I have to watch them from the sidelines. I have to watch them live a dream that I always wanted. Fuck that. Fuck that. I wasn't born on this planet to watch other people live a dream that I didn't have the balls to live. I'm not here to be a bystander. I'm not here to be somebody as a spectator. That's not who I am. That's not who anybody's. Nobody's designed to be a spectator, but society demands that of us. Society grooms you into being someone that spectates other people that had the fucking balls to make some shit happen. Because everyone out there is capable of risk-taking, but most people try to convince other people not to do it. Because if we all feel safe, we all feel comfortable, then we're good. That was why when I started taking these big fucking leaps, all of my friends were like, they all started disassociating from me because I'm achieving a level of success that they're probably not going to see for a while. Anyone's capable of success, of course, but the way they're going, this structured way, the school way, which works, it does work to an extent, for now, they're going to see success way later in life than I am, right? I may lose it all in 5 years, but I'm going to have a good 5 years. I'm going to have a damn good 5 years, okay? I was sitting in my bed in my college dorm thinking, how the fuck do I get out of this situation? Not telling anybody, because if I started telling people that I was uncomfortable, then I'm the fucking black sheep. If I'm telling people that this isn't enough, then I'm the black sheep. I'm not doing enough. I'm not working hard enough. That's not the case, though. I'm spending fucking 10, 12 hours doing all this work, and it's not enough. I don't enjoy it. I hate it, but I have to be here. Why? Because everybody convinced me that I was supposed to be there. And I felt wrong to think anything other than that. In the moment I actually jumped away from that and cut everybody off, I feel the most me I've ever felt in my entire life. The moment I turned off that noise of everybody trying to convince each other that they're supposed to be doing this thing, I felt, wait a minute, this is me. Wait a second. And I didn't feel like this then. Not even for a minute. I tried to convince other people that that's who I was. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm this guy. No, I fucking wasn't. Right? This all amalgamated of months of me living a life that everybody told me was supposed to be fulfilling and satisfying and satiating, and spending every single night in my bed praying to God, saying, let this change. I can't keep doing this anymore. This is not me. I hate this. I need change. This isn't me. I need this change. Please, Lord, I don't know what it is, but this is not for me. Point me in that direction. Help me find this direction. Help me take this risk. Help me find the risk. Help me figure out what that is, because this isn't it. Like I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but not what I needed to be doing. Doing what everybody told me to do, but not what I should have been doing. And that's where a lot of you guys are, right? You're living to the expectations of others, and that fulfills society, but it doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't have to be trading, but it's probably not what you're currently doing. But I remember those nights in that dorm bed, that fucking twin XL, where I'm looking up and I'm just like, this is fucked. Got to find my way. I've got to, Lord, just, I don't know what it is, what I'm missing. Help me find that. Help me, give me the strength. Give me the ability to experience these things. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what it is or what it looks like, but just give me the trials necessary. I wasn't asking for the trials, but give me the qualifications to do these things. Like whatever I'm missing that these other people have, give that to me so I can go on my way and figure out who I am. And he did that by giving me probably the most intense series of trials I've ever had in my entire life. I already thought the hardship was in the past, right? I already thought that losing all my money once, losing all my money twice, going through an absolute crushing drug addiction, just complete destruction of my life was in the past. I thought I already did all the hard work. I thought now was the success. I was very wrong. I was incredibly wrong. A big leap requires a big change. And although those were big changes, I wanted an even bigger leap. Right? Even though I had a lot of my life figured out at the point, like I kind of got school under a lasso. Trading was starting to work out for me. I was making good money with trading. I actually started content at the time. It felt like I had control of everything, but it wasn't like to a point of success. It wasn't this like vibrant thing. It wasn't like this is who I am. It was, this is cool. I like this. I fuck with this. It was on some like hobby shit. And it was nice. And it was great. But it was in a little box. Sure, I lost all my money. Sure, I had to overcome horrible addictions. But that was just enough to put me in that small box of hobby. Not enough, anything more than that. Nothing more. A little tiny box. So shit had to change. God's plan is beautiful because he set me through an insane journey to get to this point. And I realize now, and that's why I'm making this video, that you cannot become who you want to be because you don't even have the ability to handle that. How can God trust you with the world if you can't even handle tying your shoes, right? How is he going to entrust you with his vision if you can't even handle one of the emotions required with the vision, right? How can God trust you with the things you want if you've never had the trials to prove you can even handle a fraction of what it takes to juggle that, right? You want to juggle all these balls at the same time, but you can't even throw one up. You can't even throw one in your hand. You want 20 balls. My bad. But you get my point, right? You want these lavish things. You want this crazy lifestyle, but you can't even handle the emotions or the mindset associated with having that, right? And at the time, I wanted these things. I wanted this. I wanted all this. I wanted to be full-time. I wanted to pursue my dreams. But I couldn't even be willing to lose it all. I couldn't be willing to be alone. I couldn't be willing to lose all my money again. I couldn't be willing to have to face things about myself I never wanted to face, right? And so he took so much from my life, things I thought I needed, things that made me whole, from the world, things that the world showed me, you need this to feel whole. He took that from me to show me, hey, in order to have this, in order to have everything you want, you need to trust me with the trial that you're about to go through. I'm going to take these from you so you build this life. You build the character necessary to handle the balls of life. Everybody in the world wants these nice things. Everybody wants this life, but you don't want what it took to get that. You don't want all the qualities it takes to manage that life. I never talk about this publicly, but 9 months ago, I was on the phone with the hotline. It's because my prayers are being answered. And for the first time, I had to confront things about myself that I never wanted to do. My girlfriend left me. All of my friends were gone. I started to fail all of my classes. I lost money trading. Everything was crumbling. All these things that I thought were my life crumbled around me. It's because I asked for it. I did. I asked for change. I asked for this. And in order to have this, in order to be trusted with this life, in order to be trusted with the responsibility of thousands and millions of people that I get to impact now, I needed to go through one of the hardest things people can go through, right? I had to go through horrible shit. In order to manage that, in order to be entrusted with that duty, with that responsibility of this life, you need to be qualified. And I wasn't qualified at the time. He answered my prayers in ways I never wanted him to, but was completely necessary because he understood who I had to become and what I had to experience in order to become that. You want the keys to the Lamborghini, but you can't even drive a Honda down the road. You can't even drive that bitch 20 feet. You crash the bitch. How can he trust you with that nice car? How can he trust you with that girl? How can he trust you with his world if you can't even juggle little aspects of it? You can't even handle one of the balls, man. You're juggling the balls in the air and you ask God, let me have another. I'm ready for another. You weren't even ready for the first one. So he's going to take it all away from you. He's going to take it all away. And he's going to teach you from the beginning how to juggle the right way. And I remember that feeling so fucking alone. Because I rooted all of my worldly happiness in my girlfriend and in my friends and in my school and all these things that weren't my actual vision, weren't my dream, weren't my purpose. And he took each one of those things from me one by one. First, it was my girlfriend. Out of nowhere, out of the blue. Couple days, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a handful of weeks after I started praying, for the first time actually praying for things to change, my girlfriend leaves me. I'm not entirely sure why. It was just kind of out of the blue, random change of heart, right? And that's on her, and I respect that. And that caused me to realize that all of my loneliness was hidden in her. She made me feel comfortable. She made me feel secure, that I didn't need to be focused on these things, that I could just, our relationship was enough to satiate that. We made each other feel comfortable, just like the world made me feel comfortable in my decisions, so that I didn't have to face the reality that I wasn't living my dream. Because realizing that you're not living your dream is a burden. And when you're around people that also aren't living their dream, you want to make each other feel comfortable. And that's why people without direction comfort each other, and they make each other feel content. It's because they don't want to face the harsh reality that neither of them are living their dream. And I started praying to live my dream, and someone that made me feel comfortable and someone that I made feel comfortable not doing anything was removed from my life. And honestly, that was a good call. Thank you. Not that she was a bad person. She was a very good influence on me. She was a wonderful person. But I was not ready to have her. I was not ready to have a girl. I was not ready to have that. I didn't deserve it. And God let me have it and then took it away from me, so that I could realize that I needed to become so incredibly important and so incredibly influential and so well-rounded, and then I can have these things, and then you can have it. The second thing that happened is my friends started to cut me off because for whatever reason, they just stopped fucking with me. I stopped being invited places. I felt like I was being left out of things. And I'm just like, dude, the fuck is this? This is out of nowhere. Strange. Interesting. And even though for the first time I was alone, I'd actually been alone the entire time. All these people made me feel like I wasn't. Truthfully, I was alone the entire time. I wasn't by myself. I was surrounded by people, but I was completely and utterly alone. And they were removed from my life for me to realize that I was alone the entire time. And then funnily enough, one of the most important exams for one of these classes I was in, it was literally, if you don't pass this exam, you don't pass the class. That score came out that week, and guess what the fuck happened? I was 0.5 or maybe one question away, something like that, some vague ass shit, some fucking this close, and I failed the fucking exam, and I failed the class. And then because of that failure, it was just this close. Because I fucked up my freshman year and I screwed up my grades, having another failure would have caused me to be kicked out of the CS program at that school. And I was fucked. Not only did my girl leave me and my friends completely abandon me, but then I just failed the most crucial class in my set of classes, and I was probably about to get kicked from the school. And now that I was truly alone and fully aware that everything was unstable, it made me realize that there were so many missing pieces in my life, and if I wanted these things, things had to change. There was no contentness anymore. There was no comfortable anymore. It was you either change or you get left behind. So things did change completely. I had all the skill set at this point to make my dreams happen, but I had no choice at this point but to confront it. As it turns out, when you remove these people that made you feel comfortable and you remove these things that made you feel comfortable, and God shows you how unstable the world is and how you can just become some unknown person and that everything is really meaningless, that's when you go all in. That's when you really fly, right? You fly the highest when you have nothing attached to you. And now that it was all gone, I could fly as high as I wanted to go without anyone stopping me. And I had all the skills and all the knowledge of my particular business to do that. And now the thing I saw other people that had before, they're in Miami, they have these things, they have the success, they have the car, they have the girl, they have the house, they have all these things, they have the fame, all these things that the world says, this is what you want, these are the things that you want to have. And I'm thinking, how did they get there? What was the thing? What was the difference? Well, the difference was they probably had everything taken from them too, for the most part. Some of them no, but they probably had everything taken from them. And these people I used to look up to that had it all, how did they get there? What was that missing piece? They had everything taken from them. And now that everything was taken from me, it was a choice. And a lot of people, when things are taken from them, they choose to just let go. They choose to let it be. They choose, you know what? Too big, too massive of a problem for me to want to fix. I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to come and answer the call. I'm not going to pick the phone up. I'm not going to come and answer the phone of God saying, do this thing. You are free now. You wanted these things. I made your life free. You have no more attachments. The world is no longer attached to you. You can go live your dream out. It's your choice now. There you go, buddy. I gave you all the reasons, all these things that prevented you from living that dream, gone. Go do it. He tested me, and I answered that phone. A lot of people will not answer that phone. A lot of people will go their entire life never having answered that phone. And eventually they will realize that they should have answered that phone, because that life that they were called to, it's really nice. And the lives closest to him are the nicest. If massive things are changing in your life and things are unstable and things are volatile and things are out of your hands, that's God working so hard behind the scenes for you in your honor. He's trying so hard to make it easy for you to be the person that he needs you to be for him. Look at your surroundings. Look at all the hardships you're facing right now. Look at everything that's pinned against you, everything that's stacked against you, all the odds. Understand that in order to drive that Lamborghini, you've got to drive the Honda. You've got to get really good at driving that Honda. Why would God entrust you with the world and give you the world if you can't even handle yourself? Pray for that change. I promise you, the moment you start asking for that change, it's going to come in ways that you don't want, but in ways that you need.